Hello people, I'm Jaby and I'm going to check out Elvis and Nixon. I'm going to react to it. I don't know how much of a reaction I'm gonna possibly get out of a trailer called Elvis and Nixon, but at least we can talk about it afterwards, so let's check it out.
Of all the famous images preserved in our national archives, the most requested photo of all time is this one.
Really?
You remember when you talked about finding an ally for Nixon? Someone from the outside.
I need to get this letter to the president.
You'll never guess in a million years who just showed up at the Northwest Gate asking to see him.
It's Elvis. Elvis Presley. You swear this isn't a joke, because this penmanship is horrible. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So you think we should meet with him?
Yes, Mr. President.
During my nap hour.
Everybody loves Elvis. He could really help us with the youth fund. We would also like a badge.
A what?
I would like to go undercover as a federal agent. I've been in 31 major motion pictures. That makes me an expert in costume and disguise. I could infiltrate the communists, and then I'd bust them all. Let's do this thing.
An undercover rock and roller. Sounds ludicrous.
I can supply my own firearms.
All right, but what do we have on this guy?
Well, he's one of the most famous men on the planet. Loves guns, hates the Beatles.
The Beatles. Well, I don't like that.
Okay, sir, do you have any firearms or weapons of
That's a
any kind?
pretty good imitation of Nixon.
It's a good thing they didn't catch this little fella in my boot.
Mr. Presley, we're going to have to go over the protocols. Mr. President, Mr. Elvis Presley. On the coffee table is a dish with M&Ms. Those are only for the president.
M&Ms are my favorite.
Mine too.
There is also an unopened bottle of Dr. Pepper.
You have a bottle opener?
Please do not open it. Please do not drink from it because it's only for the president.
What in the good God is going on?
I don't know.
I'll make sure that we get a picture of Mr. Presley and me. You and me, we rose from nothing. But look where I am today. Look where you are.
That's how I learned to develop these knuckles of steel. No slapping. Come on, harder. Harder. Let it out. Those are the steel claws of a tiger, Mr. President.
All right. I'm curious. The only thing that I'm wondering about is the actual voice of Nixon. Everyone does this impersonation of Nixon like, I'm not a criminal, this shit. And after watching the movie Frost Nixon, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's an interesting drama. I went and watched some of the actual interviews of Frost Nixon. And Nixon actually doesn't sound a whole lot like the way people have been imitating him for years. See, in my head, Nixon sounds a certain way. Nixon sounds like how everyone has been imitating him. And I'm wondering if kids in the future are going to hear a certain voice of George W. Bush in their head, and then they go and watch the actual interviews of George W. Bush, and he sounds not all that much like the way people have been imitating him. Because the exaggerated caricature of the person ends up becoming the person that everyone knows as opposed to the actual person. I just got weirdly metaphysical and philosophical on you guys, and I have no idea why. We're not talking about philosophy, we're talking about Elvis and Nixon here. The movie looks like a lot of fun. I'm a fan of Kevin Spacey. I really liked House of Cards seasons 1 and 3. Season 2 was a little weird, but seasons 1 and 3 were good. I enjoyed that a lot, and I'm not entirely sold on the Elvis acting here. I'm gonna give it a shot though, because that guy is a pretty good actor. He played Zod. Is that the guy's name from Superman? Shit. General Zod? I think it's Zod. I think that's what I meant to say. General Zod. He played General Zod. And I was not a fan of his General Zod. Go ahead and downvote me just for saying that, but I wasn't a fan of his General Zod. I was a fan of him in that movie with the Road something, The Road Less Traveled or something. I can't remember anything right now. Revolutionary Road. Dude was in Revolutionary Road, and he did a damn good job in that. But as General Zod, I'm not so sure. And now as Elvis, maybe. I, again, would want to go back and look at the original footage of Elvis. What I've seen of Elvis, though, there's an impression in my head. Again, there's a certain idea of Elvis in my head, and I'm not quite seeing it there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a really good job. I remember when Leonardo DiCaprio did Blood Diamond, I was like, what the hell kind of accent is that? That sounds awful. But then I was looking at the critics' review, and I'm a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. I was looking at the critics' reviews, and everyone was like, wow, Leonardo DiCaprio's accent is perfect. I'm like, what the hell movie did they watch? But, you know, I had to kind of divorce myself from who I think of as Leonardo DiCaprio and just look at the character, and I guess it was good. I don't know. So I might have the same feeling here. I might watch it and go like, that's not how Elvis sounds. But maybe that is how he sounds. Maybe dude, obviously he's taking on the role of Elvis. He took the time to study Elvis and his nuances and how he really behaved. Case in point, Abraham Lincoln. When Daniel Day-Lewis, who's arguably the greatest actor right now alive, did Lincoln, I wasn't expecting his voice to be so kind of hollow as it was in the movie. I was expecting 4 scores and 7 years ago kind of voice, like a deeper, gravelly voice. But apparently that's not how Lincoln sounded at all. So there you go. It's interesting that this is an Amazon movie. I thought Kevin Spacey would be faithful to Netflix. Some drama has gone down. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. I am Jaby. Peace out.